What up, boys, and welcome back to another video. So there's a lot of people who have been waiting for this video, and it's out kind of late because when I live stream I tend to answer this question as well as I can, and I answer it a lot of times, and it is the what's the best way to farm gold, and more specifically for this video, what is the best way or fastest way to get the Longboi mount. And I've always said that there's no such thing as the best way to make gold, because if there's a lot of people doing this so-called best way or best farm, it would no longer be best because everyone is doing it. So in my experience as a farmer, like the best way to make a lot of gold is by being like diversifying your farms, being in a lot of markets at the same time. But this video is more about like how I personally would have done it if I didn't have the Longboi, if I didn't have any gold. How would I start from zero to getting the Longboi, right? Because you can't really hide the fact that one of the best ways of obtaining gold in WoW is not by farming, but rather than playing the auction house is definitely the best way. And we're talking resetting markets, like buying out cheap stuff and posting it for more. We're talking buying certain items like the arcane crystal, make it into arcanite, sell it for profit, and so on. And none the least, which has been extremely good and popular lately, is flipping raid BOEs. Like you can buy raid BOEs for 500,000 gold, sell them for 2 million. Like it's insane. That is not, however, accessible for everybody. Like everybody can do it, but you got to know what you're doing. You need capital. And playing the auction house in other ways, like there's people setting up crafting tunes where they craft every single transmog over multiple realms. That's also insane, but it requires a lot of gold and time to put into it. And so if I were to do it from scratch, I wouldn't do any of that. I would just do guaranteed farms, right? So there was a lot of positive feedback on a video that I did like roughly a week ago, where I showed people how good it actually was to do like the most standard basic shit, which most people have forgotten about, which is just doing like current content gathering. It's really, really good. Like there's so many people spending hours upon hours trying to farm transmog items, trying to farm for that one specific item, and they don't really seem to get it. They don't seem to make a lot of gold on it, but then again, they don't seem to mind doing it because the potential is so high. But if you look back at it, they just spent like 6 hours on a Saturday trying to make a lot of gold, but it didn't really go their way. They weren't really lucky. They didn't really sell their stuff because you're doing it halfway, and they ended up making close to nothing. And they could have been using those hours on that Saturday farming something that's guaranteed gold. We're not talking raw gold because raw gold is out of the picture. I made a whole separate video on that, but I always consider raw gold bad because there's always going to be something that sells almost instantly and it's going to yield you more gold than doing a raw gold. So I made videos on it in the past, like a stockpile, and I think that's a great way to look at it, like these stockpiling, because we're going to start from scratch. Like if I wanted to start from 0 gold and go to 5 million, I would have focused on materials mainly, right? And I'm not saying that you're going to go into BFA and you're going to herb your way to 5 million gold, because that would take, if my calculations are correct, 265 hours-ish in order to do so. That's a lot of hours. But the way that I would do it, I would go and I would look at the most popular high in demand materials, like we did when we were stockpiling for Legion. And I actually made a list on those that you guys can take a look at. If you take a look at this one, this is some of them. So this is a list that I use myself because I always forget about some of the materials. I'm like, shit, should I go and farm a material or should I wait, right? So I've had this notepad for a while, man. And here we have like multiple skinning farms, like Nether Dragon Scale, Cleft Tooth, Knot Tide. And with this arrow, it means that you can turn the Knot Tide into heavy Knot Tide, but you got to take a look and see if that's going to give you higher gold per hour. And same with the Barine Leather, where you can make the heavy Barine Leather into you can make the Barine Leather into heavy Barine Leather, and then you can turn the heavy Barine Leather into Arctic Fur. So you got to take a look though and see if the Arctic Fur if it's worth turning your heavy Barine into Arctic Fur. Same with Savage Leather, make it into Heavy Savage and then into Pristine Hide. If it's good, like sometimes the Savage Leather, the price on Savage Leather is so good, it's not even worth turning it into Heavy Savage Leather. And what I tend to do if I notice that I'm not really getting, they're not selling as fast as I want them to sell, is that I take a portion of my Savage Leather, make some of it into Heavy Savage, and then I use some of the Heavy Savage and turn it into Pristine Hide. And all of a sudden you get 3 different items with a chance of selling rather than just that one material. And then we have Warbear Leather. I'm not sure why Wild Wine is on this one. Cobra Scale, Fell Scale. This is just some of them, as I said. And then we have other items such as the Primals. We have the Volatiles, Dark Runes, Wild Wine, Essence of Water, Golden Pearl. If we go over to mining, we have Arcane Crystal, which you can turn into Arcanite, Fell Iron, Corium, Dark Iron Ore, which you obviously want to melt into the bars. And then if you do like the volatile farms, you get all the mats necessary to craft true gold, right? And then obviously if you're doing farms, you want to turn your cloth into embers like bolts and then imbued frostweave. So the plan is, the tactic is, and I'll be using it many times to reach gold caps, is by doing these farms, as many of these as you can. You don't want to sell them unless the price is good. So you want to go on your auction house, you want to search up all the items like that you have farmed, and you want to favorite the items, and then you constantly want to be looking at the price, and you don't want to sell these materials unless they meet your minimum requirement of gold per hour, because you're going to go up and down like crazy. It's like Primal Mana, for instance. When we farm Primal Mana, we get like close to 200, sometimes above 200 Primal Mana. So selling them for 200 gold would mean that I would make 40,000 gold roughly per hour, which is fine. That is okay. I'm comfortable with 40,000 gold an hour, so I would sell it. And if I do Volatile Fire, I get like roughly 1,000 Volatile Fire. So selling those 1,000 would mean that I would make 19,000 gold on the Volatile Fire, and then like 7 to 8,000 gold on the other stuff. And that would be less than 30,000 gold, and I wouldn't be happy with that. So I would just let them be in, sit in my bank, and I would just wait. And then you do the same with all the items that I listed, that I show you guys. You just keep these, because these items are also slow selling. So just make sure you have these on your auction house. Only post them on the auction house if they meet your minimum requirements of gold per hour, and you have to set that aside yourself. Like if you're comfortable making 20,000 gold an hour, then you got to do the quick math. Like, okay, I'm farming 100 Primal Fire an hour. They sell for 200 gold each. That's fine for me. I'm happy with 20,000 gold an hour, so I'm going to sell them. So you gotta use that number. My number is 30,000 gold. If I'm not making 30,000 gold an hour on my materials, I'm not going to sell them. I'm going to hold on to them, because all these material farms, they are 30,000 gold an hour plus farms minimum, right? Unless some idiot has undercutted the shit out of them. So I know that I can make 30,000 gold an hour on these farms, so I refuse to sell them for less than that. So the tactic is farm up these items, as many of them as you can. Like you should do an hour of each and have them in your bags. And then obviously if you post your Primal Fire, you move on, then you sell your Primal Fire. You want to go and farm Primal Fire again to have it available, right? So once you have these old content mats on the auction house, you want to supplement by doing something that's going to sell instantly. And that takes us back to current content mats. Doing like BFA skinning, BFA herb and mining, just do that while you wait for your old mats to sell. And that tactic alone is going to get you the Longboi mount guaranteed. Like you guys saw my material clean out last week or so on the gold that I made, and that was me doing it extremely casually. Like that's not even an hour a day of material farming. So it's a really good tactic, and if you guys want to step it up a notch, you could add other items such as the Batra Tilt, the Seal Tomb of Lost Legion, the Rogue Troll Dices, the Polymorphs on Mage. Just keep them up on the auction house, because it's farms that will give you a high gold per hour, but they're slow selling though. But it's always good to have them on the auction house. And that is like, it's simple, I know. You guys just want me to tell you guys, go and farm X and you will make X amount of gold per hour and we're all going to become billionaires. But it doesn't work like that. If it did, it wouldn't be good because everyone is going to do it. Like, you guys get the idea. But like, every single time when I wanted to make gold, every single time I started on a new realm and I was doing a new gold cap challenge, I would always do a little bit of fun, as I like to call it, which is transmog, and then I will also do some serious business, which is materials. And this tactic has been working for me on multiple realms, from low pop to full pop realms, and it's always treating me good. Like, these mats are, most of these mats are in high demand, some of these mats are not in high demand, but are definitely necessary for most crafters, and they will buy them. They're not going to farm them, so as long as the price is realistic. So that's my whole tactic. Like, if it was me, if I was starting from scratch, I would have farmed old materials, because the gold per hour on old materials is higher than current materials. So once I have the old materials on the auction house, I would do current content material farming. So me personally, I'm not a big fan of skinning, but mining herbalism is above 20,000 golds on my realm, even when the herbs are selling for, like, some of them 3 gold each, right? So that is my tactic. If you guys got any questions whatsoever, leave them down in the comment section. I have probably missed out on materials that I'm currently farming and posting on the auction house myself on this list. This is like a super old list that I've had laying around for ages. But yeah. Let me guys know how it turns out for you if you decide to give it a go. Keep in mind that if a lot of people watch this video, I have no clue if people will watch or like this video, but if they do, you might notice that some of these mats are going down in value, but just be true to the tactic. Don't panic. That's like, when we did stockpiling videos, I made a fucking fortune. Not because I was holding on to my materials and selling them in Legion, but because every one of you guys were holding on to your materials, so nobody was posting them. Besides from me, I posted the materials because nobody else was supplying the auction house with the materials, so I could sell them at a premium, right? And then when Legion dropped, everyone panicked and they just stuffed their primals and volatiles in the auction house. And there was me buying cheap primals and volatiles. So be true to the tactic. Farm the materials, the old materials, sell them at a price you're comfortable with. When it comes to the current content materials, sell them at the current price, or sell them like on a Sunday or something where there are more people buying the mats. And that's the entire plan. So you guys can take a look at this list. You guys can take a look at my old stockpiling videos for inspiration, and take a look at other items besides from mats that you can farm. I mentioned a few of them, like the dice from rogue farming. You can do that on the trial tune. The seal tomb you can farm that on a trial as well. The warlock, you guys can do polymorph tombs. You can do it on a trial mage. There's so many of these items. You guys can kill the it's not insane amounts of gold, but you guys can go to Tanan Jungle and you can kill the mobs behind here, and they drop toys. Like, you can do that. You just camp your tunes. If you got tunes that you're not even using, just kill these guys daily for toys. You can kill the Nagrand mobs, like these guys, for 3 different battle pets daily. There's so many things you can do. Just do that while you wait for your old materials to sell. And I will guarantee you guys, you will get the Longboi. I see a lot of people using the raw gold tactic. There's this website where you can type in how much gold you have, and then the website will tell you how much raw gold you need to farm every single day to get the Longboi before the Shadowlands pre-patch. And there's been so many people coming to my stream like, Studen, I need help. I've done every single kata raid and I still need 14,000 raw gold to meet my daily requirement. Like, don't do raw gold, do mats. That's it, I'm out. If you guys got any questions, leave them down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to press that thumbs up, helps on my channel, and I will see all of you guys back in the next video. Until then, bye bye.